okay.
And do you know what? I'm actually saying, if you're a virgin, keep it. It's good. Do you know what I mean? Keep it. But you see when you're saying it's an element you can't take back, and it's very true. You know what I mean? Nobody, you can't undo what has already been done. The truth of the matter is as well is that some people hold virginity to the highest. Do you get what I'm saying? And there's no problem. But the problem is sometimes when you feel like you've lost your worth because you've lost your virginity. Yeah. God still sees you the same way. Do you get what I'm saying? As for you, you've lost physically, you've lost your virginity. You know what I mean? But God still sees you as his daughter, as his son. Do you get what I'm saying? God in the highest, amen. Hallelujah.
You didn't play sport when you were young.
Yeah. I actually played. I played GA. I can kick, but I can't.
Every kid played GA.
GA was the number one sport for me. It's so good.
That was 18. Oh, no.
Do you play hurling? Oh, camogie. That's for girls.
No. Not for girls. Girls can play anything. I played GA.
No, girls can't play hurling.
I played Gaelic football.
No,
and
for girls it's called
camogie, not hurling.
Camogie.
You know, girls play camogie.
Yeah, but I didn't play camogie because you said that's for girls. So you're generalizing, saying only girls can play that type of Gaelic.
That's why it's called camogie.
It's camogie for girls.
You don't see for Colini.
No, hurling was for guys. Camogie was for girls.
Why was there a different name for the two, though?
No, because it was actually like slightly different. Yeah.
Same with Gaelic football. Boys had to use the the legs to get the ball. Girls could just pick it up.
Yeah.
You guys did something to this chair. It's not straight.
Maybe someone sitting on it with you.
Limb.
Your blessings. Come on.
Your blessings are so heavy.
Your back is hurting from going there.
Yo, so guys, give me quickly.
Remember that song, Blessings?
No shade. You guys won't get it. We'll talk to you after. Guys, quickly, give me your opinion. Silhouette challenge. Go.
It should be done by every girl in the world.
Why not?
Come on, man. Put your head on my shoulder.
We were talking about the fun.
Yeah, we're not going to go there again. No, there was, someone said, I think on TikTok, someone said, it looks like they're auditioning for hell.
No word of a lie.
It could be, The devil was just saying, I want you. You'll be good. I like the way you move.
He said, nah, she's too fat to get in.
What we're not going to do is fat shame. Yeah.
Have we started?
Yes, we have started.
Yes. I didn't even know you there. So natural.
Wait, when? Into the DMs. Talking about DMs.
It goes down in the DMs. Speaking of DMs, how did you move to your girl?
Exactly, that's how I was gonna go. Me? No, it wasn't DMs. No, friendships. Like
friends,
physical, face to face. What about you, bro?
I actually don't know.
You definitely slid into DMs.
No, because I've known her for a while. I've known her for a while though.
True.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Same college, man.
Mad thing. Do you know since college?
You went to the same college as well. You're Martin.
Yo, what about you?
No, but did you know since college? That
I liked her. Yeah. No. She liked me in college.
Come on, bro.
All the babes.
You want to look at the camera, Now, what are you saying? Did you not get slid into? Like DMs?
No.
DMs. That was a bit lustful, sorry.
Nah, we met in church actually, and at that point in time I was actually proper like
so wholesome.
I was proper like on my own vibe. I just wasn't looking for anything, and then
you weren't looking for love.
I wasn't looking for love.
But love found you.
But love found me.
What did you do? Yeah.
No, you don't do that.
What about you?
I was just friends.
No,
just friends.
No DMs. No DMs, huh?
He actually, his original plan was to play me.
What?
Play?
Oh yeah.
Wanted to play me and then
You got caught.
can't play me.
Come on, bro.
Oh, are you saying you never played in your life?
No, like
Yeah?
someone
I
probably-
reckon every girl has been played.
Of course.
I've never caught feelings when the guy played me. No, never.
Yeah.
Okay.
But define playing, like define.
He's you just using no
Like-
feelings attached, just using you kind of.
Yeah.
That was the original plan.
Mad.
Jeez, and he told you that was the original plan?
Yeah.
Jeez.
After you were together.
Love you, bro.
That's honesty that I don't have.
Honest, open and transparent.
Mm-hmm.
That's mad. So obviously, yeah, this is welcome to the what's that? Where's your head at? Welcome to the Open Circle podcast. I'm your boy King David.
Aurelia.
Mary.
Snowddenn.
Yes, sir. This for locking in. And this is Valentine's week. Yeah, so I think Valentine's, when this is out, Valentine's will be like 2 days after, I think. So, what was I asking? So we're going to speak on love and just relationships and Christian and being young as well. First thing, obviously, when I mentioned being young, what do you feel like the stigma is with young Christians or young people? Let's go young Christians dating.
In dating.
Yeah.
People just expect that you just have a husband. Like, I think they just, well, some adults, some aunties and uncles just expect that, like, you're just single husband, bam. Marriage, bam.
That's what my dad expected from me. Marry a rich, evil man, fall in love after.
No, it's true. I didn't feel that sort of pressure. Maybe because it's probably good to come from two angles, like from the guy's perspective and from the Jesus Christ. Sorry,
Yes, Lord of God.
Make
sure mine's on silent as well.
That won't work today. I can't answer your call. Yeah, I think it's good for us to come from a male perspective and then a female perspective. In terms of, first of all, the expectations. Like I was told not to have a girlfriend by my mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, don't have a girlfriend until you're ready. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
When is ready?
Right. So she was telling me college. I got to college. She goes, wait till you finish college. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But obviously, in secondary school, I was having a girlfriend. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I don't know. And my dad was whenever I did speak to him, he was saying like, oh, where's your girlfriend? So it wasn't much of like a taboo to have a girlfriend, maybe just from my angle. But I'm sure with my little sister, it's like even we are like, boy. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
How old is your sister?
Don't know. 13?
Don't know. 13.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first had your girlfriend?
First girlfriend. Yeah, I must have been 13.
God, young.
That was young.
How old were you?
A white girl called Aoife. Why?
No, because I'm about to laugh.
Go ahead.
But yeah.
How old were you? First
Me.
boyfriend.
15.
How old were you?
24.
That's
impressive.
And you?
Me? Are we gonna include the ones in secondary school that didn't matter?
Like your
your
first person you
ever.
called boyfriend.
I think I was about. Oh man, I think I was in third year. I
Of
was in
uni?
third year. No, third year of secondary school. White boy, Aaron.
Yeah. Okay. So when we were young, yeah, and we were getting into these relationships, or some people wasn't relationships, some people were just linking and all these type of things there. Because I'm sure like there's young people listening to us as well. Yeah. I'm saying, like, what was the drive, or what was the like appeal of having a boyfriend or being in a relationship?
Oh man, it's like you see, you know, back in the day when they used to have those quote pictures, and then they had the couples together. So then you see that kind of thing when you're young and your stupid mind, you're like, oh, that would be nice, but you don't actually,
Fairy tale.
you don't know the realities of having a relationship. The reality of having a relationship is completely different from what you see on these little poster pictures.
But back then, was it serious? It wasn't like it is now, though.
Like
Relationship, yeah.
What do you mean?
Because you're older.
Like when you were going your first relationship, what were you doing?
I actually don't know. One day he told me he liked me. Next day I was
Yeah.
his girlfriend. It was so weird.
Like I had best friends in secondary school that had girlfriends, and they used to go without talking to them for days.
Yeah. 100.
Days. So it was just that tag of boyfriend, girlfriend. I feel anyways.
Yeah,
I think it
I think there's two. There's like obviously like very young kids like don't know exactly what it is. It's just like even I know some 6-year-olds I was tell them as in, like,
as play.
yeah, I have a boyfriend, all that type of stuff. Yeah, but then there's like let's go 15, 16, right? So you're now texting every day on Insta or Snapchat, whatever it is. I think So it goes from a place of not so serious, and then goes to a place when you're probably 16. It's probably serious. Like these days, them talk to each other every single day. They go out to each other. You know what I mean? So, them lot are actually in serious relationships. As in, not when I say serious. When I say serious, it's not like it's not serious the way we see it, but it's very serious for them. Like I love this person. You know.
I heard that
hormones.
because I know someone. She's about 17 or something, and
Right now.
yeah, right now, fresh. Not that she wow, cause
ahead.
like it's a fresh story. Not that she's fresh, because that sounds predatory. Anyways, like she's 17 or something, and she was going out with this guy, but obviously it was like different counties. And fam, I tell you now, she used to cry all night because he was the kind of guy that obviously does fraud. He's not really serious about the relationship as well. So to be honest, think about it now, she might have been in a relationship by herself. She might have been in a relationship by herself. It's one of them was that she was putting her all into it, but she was getting nothing back. So it leads me to my question: is it important for each person to love equally, or because I've been heard that a guy needs to love the girl more than the girl loves the guy?
Just show it more.
Yeah, the guy should express the love more.
Yeah.
Express it way more. Way more.
Why way more? Guys need love too.
I'm not saying that girls, because naturally
Yeah.
we will. Like like even little things like we will warm your food for you because
Yeah.
we just natural. What
Just
we would
natural.
do.
That sounds
But
nice.
for-
Warm my food for me. Come on, bro. I love that.
Have you been
Continue.
lacking
No, continue.
that?
I might be lacking.
How does that sound noisy?
It does. Nah, she said your
What?
girl tells you she's gonna warm your food for you. It sounds lovely. Yeah, it sounds like you care for me. Go ahead.
But like we would do stuff
Yeah.
like that naturally. But with guys, you guys are more just independent on your own. Like you're not really thinking about if I'm eating. I don't really think you're thinking about if she's eating right now.
Yeah.
I
Just
hear
kind
it.
of
I
thinking
hear
of
it.
yourself.
Yeah, like even when my mom was sick, I went home, I cooked some chicken soup. You know, chicken soup is good for you when you're sick. And I brought it to him and everything. He was like, "Oh, thanks." Me, I could be dying in bed. He's like, "What do you want me to do?"
Yeah,
It's just like, guys should just like, I don't know.
I know what you mean. I agree. I think I agree with the statement that men should express it more. But I think when you're young, you don't have an idea. Well, not that you don't
Yeah,
have an
'cause
idea. Your concept of love
It's totally flawed.
is flawed, and it varies because you're looking at what, like, I thought the way to go out with girls was through like Drake and Josh and stuff like that. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So like those, like the society, secular, all this type of music, all those things taught me how to be in a relationship. But then you get in a relationship and you realize it's a completely different story.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So love, okay, is great and all that type of stuff there, but you have to understand, first of all, what love is, and know that it's not just something that we text each other.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Something that we show each
What
other.
is love?
Ask yourself.
I think it's different in the confines of a Christian relationship. No,
You think so?
the way you love your wife in a Christian, like it's never. I know secular people, yeah, like they can love like unending, agape love or something like that.
Yeah.
But I feel in a Christian relationship, the love, because God is involved in the love now. God is involved, and it's like if you say you love your wife more than God, you shouldn't put anyone above God. Get me? But in a normal relationship, it's just me and my wife. So sometimes they will even. I'm not saying you can die for your wife as well, but not like willingly. I just think it has to be a scenario where you just think about it quickly. But in a Christian relationship, I think you have to put God. It has to be in the center, basically.
Yeah.
And in most other relationships, God is not in the center.
Yeah, I hear it. Like when we talk about love, yeah, I agree. If you speaking for Christians, you know what I mean. From a Christian in a Christian relationship, from a person who follows God, you need to know God. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
To know love.
To know love properly. Do you know what I mean? Because listen, at the end of the day, I'm not saying if you're not Christian, you don't know love. Of course you do, because you have love for your family.
Yeah.
You got love for your friends and all these type of things there. But when it comes to, I think, here's the word, right? I think, and call it intimate love. That comes from God. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, so if you're intimate with God, you know what intimate love is. You know what I mean? So then you're able to express that to your partner or your spouse, or whoever it is. But I think not a lot of people are intimate enough with God to understand how to love. You know what I mean? So I think it's something it's lacking. Because you know what? I think a lot of times we're moved by our feelings. Do you know what I mean? She's paying. She makes me laugh. And okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know that's great, but
What else?
you know
What
what I
else?
mean?
If you hear the word love and you
Start again.
One word to describe love. Go.
One word to describe love.
I was gonna say that.
I was gonna say commitment.
So let's say compromise.
Really?
It is. It's all those
Yeah.
things.
Like
It's all of them.
It's all those things. It's patience as well.
Because
Like,
people think that, but the thing is, people think that love is
Patience.
the only thing that anchors a relationship.
important.
It's
Men
very
say
important.
patience.
no, patience is massive.
Important.
It's massive. Yeah.
It used to be alright.
No, we will. It's just
Amen.
Man.
one day. Continue.
Yeah, but people think that like love is what anchors the relationship. Like love in itself. Like, oh, if there's love, it's not gonna all survive if there's only love. You need respect. You need patience. You need, as you said, what's it, compromise. You need so many different things because you can say you love someone and then not respect them. And then you can say you love someone and then when it comes to compromise, it's just like either my way or no way.
Yeah.
Or
Based off what you just said, I was in my auntie's house and she basically was saying, I don't know, she's married to her husband, but I don't know if they're like on good terms or they're separated, but they're not like in a happy relationship. And she said that one thing that women look for, like what women associate love with is respect, because a man can say he loves a woman but still go on and cheat. But when you respect your woman, you're really loving her because you are treating her like she is, I don't know, like something that's fragile, like an egg,
Precious.
or something that's precious, like an egg. If you drop it, it's just gonna crack into pieces. So she was saying that for a woman, love is associated with respect. But I don't know if I agree with it completely. to be
Why
honest.
not?
Okay, but what's respect?
Like what's like the definition?
What's the definition of respect?
I think
It's
reverence or let me
acknowledging the
Look,
person in your
pull up
life.
the
And
proper
It's one of them words that
But
you
the thing
just
is,
know.
that's
Yeah, you just know what it is. You don't know actually the definition. Yeah.
the thing is that's the same for like both men and women though. Do you know what I mean?
do men? I feel like men take respect very high,
Yeah.
way higher than women do.
So were you saying that the way
A feeling of deep admiration for somebody or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. Yeah, due regards for the feelings, wishes, or rights of others.
so you're saying the way a woman loves is respect or
She was saying that a woman associates love with respect. Like that is our love. Love for us is you respect me as a
Respect.
woman. Because usually when you hear respect, it's always on the men's side. Respect your man. Don't raise your voice at your man. Don't do this at your man. Don't tell your man to shut up. Da 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 da. But with women, deep down, even though we don't say it,
Yeah,
we really want to be respected.
that's true.
I didn't agree with it when I first said it, but I agree with it.
okay, because
There's a different
Yeah.
there's different
you
aspects to it.
respect your girlfriend and your boyfriend
Yeah.
100.
if you love them.
Yeah. I think love,
Yeah.
respect comes along
Yeah.
the package with love. 100%.
Definitely.
100%. I think, no one wants to be disrespected. I think it's one of those things, right? It's like, women probably demand more love from us, and we we are vocal about our like respect. You get what I'm saying? We're vocal. So you guys say men should express more, and we just that's what you are vocal about. And men are just kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like maybe because of the ego side of things, maybe because of the pride side of things, it's kind of like
It is definitely.
But do you think that the whole expressing thing comes from an element of watching how an important relationship in your life has been, you know,
Is this from the guy's perspective? or
Yeah.
both?
from either one of them? I think that like watching our parents and stuff like that, we learn a lot from our parents.
For me,
in terms of
part of mine is because my dad he doesn't really know how to. My dad's way of expressing love, I think it's very much like pray for my wife. Like I'm starting to understand that that's maybe my dad's version. Like as long as I'm praying for you and I'm covering you with the blood of Jesus, I kind of love you. So that's my show of love, which then also comes down to your love language. You need to understand what your other partner's love language is. But in regards to my parents being the reason why, like the whole show express love more, I don't think it is. I think it's just men in general. Like even when men are going through a certain thing in their life, like with us women, we could cry about it. You'd see it in our faces, but a guy could literally just laugh it off. Like literally, you guys could be going through the maddest thing and we won't notice. So the fact that you guys are so bad with showing your expression sometimes. I don't know if you love me unless you show it to me
100%.
a lot
100%.
more. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I see.
That's something that we're beginning to learn, because what we saw, as to your questions, what we saw was the dad's coming home and just putting money on the
On
table.
the table, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yo, you guys have a roof over your head. You guys have food. I've done my
Yeah,
job.
but that's basically verifying my point. It had a lot of the
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That's
expressive-
what we saw. So
Yeah.
it's very tough to transition into what you
Didn't
what it's
see.
supposed to be. So what you did see is what you're kind of. Sometimes you follow that way, and then it's very hard to transition into what you're supposed to be. Like,
Yeah.
You think so?
yeah,
You know, I reckon it's easier.
no, it's not. It's not.
It's only if
depends.
that's the only thing you see though, because
Exactly.
we see other relationships, man. We see how men treat their wives in other relationships.
Right,
Okay.
but how many families were you close enough with, and you saw the husband be very loving with the wife?
Very few.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's one of those things that we didn't see. Okay, we saw it on TV.
Yeah.
When you grow older,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. You realize that these things are like it's different. Do you know what I mean? So I said depends on the man as well because. You know, someone like myself, right? I didn't see, my dad show my mom love like that. So what was happening with me was I was being disrespectful to women in a nice way. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I was playing, I was doing all these type of things in a
That's
nice
what you
way.
thought
That's
was-
what I saw.
Yeah, exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, but I knew. Listen, I knew that I was supposed to be opposite of what I saw, but it was hard to do.
Do you think that's a woman thing, and do you think that's a man and woman thing, or do you think that was just a you thing?
Both.
Because I think with men, once they for guys, you guys really look up to the father figures. Like, when there's like men around, like you look up to them, you admire them, you see how they're making money doing their business, stuff like that, and that's what you kind of aspire to be or whatever. And then for women, obviously we're looking at our mums or whatever, but I think for women we're naturally caring, naturally we
100,
want
100.
to be loved, we want attention, naturally all of that stuff. But then when it comes to men,
That's the word.
you're looking at all these other men and looking at the behaviors and how they behave and stuff like that, and you're like, okay, so that's how it is, that's how it is, that's how it is. So then that's what you then go on to embody in the way that you were playing girls or whatever like that. But with women, we're just naturally caring or whatever.
Yeah, 100.
Irrespective of what we have seen growing up, we could have seen like horrible moments, but we can still.
That's
be
why.
like,
That's why I say sometimes it's not really excuse. Like I get it. Do you know what I mean? It's like saying. Sorry to be extreme, but saying like all these like pedophiles and all these like people who are very troubled,
Yeah.
like do troubled stuff to people.
Yeah.
They were troubled when they were young, but it's still your responsibility to
fix up.
Look at your actions.
you're responsible for your actions. You're an adult.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, yes, I was a child. I was messing
Yeah,
around with
yeah.
girls, but I'm an adult
grown
now.
up now.
But now to actually implement those things, you know what I mean? Actually like care for a woman and actually respect a woman and
Yeah.
actually, communicate effectively with a woman. It's something that I've had to be very intentional about.
What was the turning point for you?
God, Jesus, the Lord and Savior. That's the safest answer. I can't go into too much details.
Yo, listen, if not for God, I think I'd actually be like a crazy. I'd actually be insane, man.
Insane as in.
I think
He wants to get it out of you.
I think I'd be like, I'm
Silhouette.
no, not like that. I think I'd be crazy as in like, I'd be holding grudges, like holding on to anger, like because of God. I'm so easy to forgive. If you hurt me today, I'll be annoyed, and then I'll eventually, if I just take my time to myself, think and talk to God, God will say, listen, He will explain the situation to me. I'll be like, all right, cool, and then I'll figure out a way to do it. But without God, I would be the hateful, holding grudges, petty. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and that's really something that has,
Without God, I'd be petty.
yeah.
You don't feel like, so we kind of mentioned, love and just understanding what it is and stuff like that. Do you feel like there is a certain level of, because obviously we're not targeting married people right now. To go to say there's a marriage podcast for you lot. I'm saying,
How married are you?
how married? Yeah, listen. But where we are right now is a lot of us are between the ages of 17 to 24, 25. You know what I mean? And we're all navigating through relationships. I feel like, back to my question at the start, do our parents, are they sometimes unrealistic about, us dating and stuff like that, because we're gonna have these feelings at certain ages, you know what I mean? Bro, you feel horny. You know what I mean? What do you do with this? No one taught us what to do with these things. You get what I'm trying to say?
I feel like I've been saying this. I feel like our parents' approach to protecting us was shielding us away from the realities of life.
Yeah.
So like our parents, they know what sex is. They know that because back in the village when I was growing up, I thought like they were working and then they just got married and then they had sex. So then they started having feelings. Well, my mom was telling me now when they were 14, like men would move to them, guys would move to them.
100,
So like, so mom, you've been knowing that when I was 13, I'm first of all puberty. So naturally, my hormones are changing. I'm going to start feeling liking guys, etc., etc. So I was like, so you knew? She's like, yeah, but I thought that me telling you just don't do it was me like guarding you, not knowing that you telling me not to do it is now making me more curious. So I'm going to
100%.
explore it myself without your guidance.
Exactly. So with that being, with all those things that we know the kind of, we're older now and we kind of know, geez, I wish I was told certain things, or I wish, I was, the way I was brought up in this aspect was a bit better and stuff like that. Do you feel like, speaking to someone who may be 17 right now and has those feelings, what would you advise them? Would you say, yo, listen, be a bit more mature before you get into this relationship? Because, and the reason I bring that question up, right, is, so my question is, how mature do you have to be, right? But the reason I bring that up is, I know some certain people, right, and I know a couple stories, personal friends and people that I know, you know what I mean, they got in relationships at 16, 15, 17, and they stayed together. They would manage to stay together for 5-6 years, and by age 22, by age 23, by age, for one instance, age 25, you know what I mean, they'd been together probably 7 years or whatever it is, and they, you grow. So I could be a mature 17-year-old, but I'm going to be a maturer, if I could use that word, 26-year-old. You know what I mean? And so the things I want for my life and the direction I'm going in my life may change. So obviously some people, they manage to be together for 7 years and then realize that, yo, do you know what? I don't want you anymore. And the damage that's had, I know some guy could get over it, some girl could get over it, but the damage on one of the sides is so bad that like the person may not even be able to like get back up from it for a long time. It's damaging. Yes.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's so damaging. So what's your thing? Like, is there a level of maturity that you have to have before you get in a relationship?
There is.
I think it's not even maturity to me. Honestly, is get your relationship with God right first. Because you can't step into something like that and then not have, like, if you don't know yourself, you don't know God, and then you're following this person, you're just following whatever it is that they're doing. Okay. You're following whatever it is that they're saying. So you're doing follow, and then you're doing follow until you're you realize, you wake up one day and you're a little bit older and then you realize that, oh, look, wait, this is not what I want. Do you know what I mean? That could happen. That's the situation that could happen. So if you don't have God going in first, it can be so detrimental to you, because what's going to happen if all hell breaks loose? Who are you going to turn to, because you haven't developed your relationship with God yet?
That's a big point,
The person that has that situation, that they're so damaged that you don't know if they're going to like be able to get back up from it. That's because they didn't take the time to actually like go and make sure that they're good with God before they get into whatever it is that they're getting into.
That's a big point.
But at that age as well, it's inevitable to, because not everyone's gonna want to get to know God first. They're just gonna want to go straight into having a boyfriend or even doing other things with girls, having links and stuff like that. So like, what would we say to those people?
That's the core of the thing.
Like, you can say, know God first, but at 17, I was going to church, but I didn't really know God like that.
Still like girls, bro.
I was still doing stuff with girls.
Yeah.
But now at my age, do you feel it's like you have to make mistakes to learn?
Okay.
Or you can learn from other people's mistakes?
So they say, I think this is a saying, a smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. And so I always say, you don't have to break your leg to know what hurts, And there's certain things, there's certain things that you just have to go through in life, you know what I mean? I think for success, you need to experience failure sometimes, you know what I mean? Or to sustain success. But with certain things, like, you don't have to be pregnant with your kid at 17 to know that I should have been a bit more mature, before I could get in a relationship. You get what I'm trying to say? So with that being said, I'm with you 100% on the fact of, let's not be naive, because what you're saying is 100% correct. But will be naive to feel like the answer for that is just no God, and then go about your relationship. I personally, if I'm speaking to my little brother's 15, he knows I have a girlfriend. My girlfriend comes around to my house, with my mom and everything around, right? And so my whole family sees it. He's seen a healthy, relationship. But I'm still struggling on telling him, yo, bro. Like, okay, he tell me he's texting a girl. You know what I mean? It's cool, but I don't know. I'm still struggling. I'm being real with you. Like, I'm still struggling how to communicate to a 15-year-old.
Like, what would you have wanted to hear?
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking as well. That's what I'm thinking.
I would say if my child came to me, my daughter came to me at 15 and said, Mom, like, I don't know what this is, but I like this boy. I said, babe, it's normal. I always say this, when I hit the age of 11, I hit puberty. So your breasts start to grow, like you start to grow body hair. So your body is changing, so are your emotions. So from that age of 11, then I started getting to know like what feelings are. So I'll tell my child, like, it's natural for you to like a boy. I don't think it's right for you to get a boyfriend. So the feelings you have are not invalid. Because when I was your age, I had those feelings. But don't get a boyfriend. That's the truth I'll say to him. Because one thing I think is parents shun upon feelings. Like, it's natural for a 15-year-old to say, like, you're a pretty girl and I like you. Like, that's okay. Like, you have feelings, you like their personality, that's perfect. As a friend, okay, cool. But when you say boyfriend, then I feel like you're now introducing the sexual side of things, kissing or whatever and all that. And I'll just say to my child, I would rather you stay away from it. And if you do end up getting in a relationship, tell me. But I can't stop them.
But if they're feeling all these feelings,
Tell me, innit?
but if they're feeling all these feelings, then how are they gonna like express, like, by you saying don't get a boyfriend? Then what's this solution to that?
The solution to liking you isn't to be with you.
I heard that.
When I was younger, there were so many guys I did like, but I never got into a relationship with every single one of them. But I thank God I've always had friends that are older than me, so they were like, yeah, that's normal. Like, yeah, you like a guy, but just don't get in a relationship. You don't need one. It's way bigger than that. And when you reach to the age of understanding the feelings you have now, then get in one, because they don't understand what's going on.
It's big. It's what you're saying is very big, and what everyone's saying is very big. Because I feel like if I heard this podcast when I was 15, do you know what I mean? Even just the transparency of sometimes I just don't know what to say to you. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like the realest thing, I think Laulu said it one time, and said they showed us the church showed us the scriptures, never showed us the scars. So they never showed, like, if my parents or someone older than me said, Dave, when I was your age, I got in a relationship, I didn't really know what I was doing, and then I got pregnant, or because there's a story of someone who, there was ministers in the church, and they was dating or whatever, they were about to get married, and so they had sex before the wedding time, and because they were ministers. So we're going to get onto something now in a second. Yeah, because they were ministers, it was a whole thing of, everyone's like, you're not. I'm sure you're not having sex. I'm sure you're both staying in separate places, courting, right? Like courting. Yeah. And obviously, like they'd had sex now, and then she had gotten pregnant. They were so scared. She had an abortion, and real life story. This is now going to be 16 years. She's unable to have a baby, right? So they cover that up just because of the pressure of not having sex, and now it's been so detrimental to the whole marriage. You know what I mean? There's another woman who the husband just left her last year. I'm telling you stories that I'm hearing. Very. So she the husband just left her last year. She was barren. Or what is it called, barren? They were married for 7 years, so she wasn't able to have babies. And
he left her.
And so I'm just saying, look at the damage of the way these things. So we say sex before marriage is bad. I'm not disagreeing. But how you pass that across is very important.
Don't say, I'm sure you're not having sex. I know you're not having sex.
That's a lot of pressure.
It's annoying because parents, they'll say, I know you're not having sex.
How do you better not be having sex.
Instead of you saying,
that's a threat.
No, I just came back.
Instead of you saying, like, I know it's tempting, but just stay away from it.
Yeah.
Relational.
She looked at me like, please help me.
That word is so important in every aspect of Christianity.
Really, what you think, right? In someone, if as well, I made certain mistakes when I was younger as well. Yeah. The way, so they say don't have sex, right? And even if you pass that in a great way, they still have these feelings, and they may still go.
Especially guys.
Especially guys, right? And
Like girls too, to be honest.
everyone
What
has
do you mean?
like feelings, like horny, all these
Oh,
other things.
sorry.
And everyone's telling you in school, yo, boy, man, I remember when I was in first year, the boys were telling me, oh, yeah, Dave, are you a virgin? I was like, oh, no. Bro, I was like, you know what?
Nope.
Me, and they go,
Most girls was like, yeah.
I was like,
Guys,
no.
it's different.
I was
So
like, no.
crazy.
They goes, oh, who just sex with you? I goes, oh, one of the girls in Germany went on my holidays. You're like, you have to lie because you can't get the trace back, whatever, yeah. But I'm saying, so this kid is in school, he's in secondary school, or he's in college, and everyone's having sex. They're all going on nights out, and everything's happening, and everyone's lost their virginities. Everyone's talking about the body counts and how great sex was, because sex is good. So why do we shy away from that? But anyways, they tell you how great sex is and stuff like that, right? And say your kid now, or your
Watching this
friend,
podcast. Or sorry,
someone
go
watches,
ahead.
anyone goes to have sex, right? How should that be dealt with, right? So we already told them, oh, sex before marriage, this is why we shouldn't have sex before marriage, because the Bible says all these different things. Now they go ahead and do it. How do you deal with someone? Because I think sometimes we try to prevent, but we don't know how to cure.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
What's done is done.
Yeah.
Just stray away from it next time.
Watch porn.
Well, and it's
What's porn?
that's it.
What? Wait,
I hear it, but it's no.
Take your feelings out there. Then you get post no clarity.
no.
But there's no like curing it. Once you've done it, it's like an act. You've done it. There's no taking away from it. So it's about preventing it for the next time. And yeah, maybe you might slip up the next time. And don't say I'm back to square one, because you will. Like when I stop trying to stop watching porn, I say I'll stop. I'll go like 3 months. On the 4th month, I'll do it again,
Yeah.
and then I'll do it for like, you know,
Oh, yeah, for a minute, yeah.
and then I say,
yeah.
I'll stop again. But it's a cycle, man. Don't make it a cycle. Actually, don't make it a cycle, because if you slip up, it's not good to slip up, but you will slip up. Just have things in place. Like, don't be alone together. Maybe if you're gonna do it, don't be alone. Don't like sleep over or something, or maybe hotels, because I know the hotels are, when it opens back up again,
bro.
hotels will be booming these times. But relax.
Sorry.
Yeah, but just put things in place to prevent it from happening again. I feel.
But I think though that one important thing is the people that you have around you as well. Because if you're going to
That's true.
these friends that are saying, "Oh yeah," and then you feel pressure, like what's the point? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's people. Will always be people out there that will support you on your journey of, keeping yourself like in the way that you, whatever way you want to, whatever. But like, it's a lot of pressure, especially for young people. There's so much pressure. Social media, oh my God.
Yeah.
Social media is just,
That's what I'm saying. The pressure is so real, and I think sometimes we
I think it's
act,
worse now.
Yeah, and we act oblivious to it. Like there's real pressure, bro.
Yeah.
Like we're watching Netflix, and you're seeing a girl naked and a guy naked. You're seeing this very
Frequently.
I'm watching Netflix with my little bro, my little sis.
Ads.
You're seeing this.
Yeah.
Then you have a phone. On Snapchat, who's sending you what? Like on Twitter, we know we scroll on Twitter and we see it's almost like Pornhub sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you're just seeing the madness, right? And you know that they're seeing this, but sometimes we act oblivious to. Young people are seeing these things. You know what I mean? Young people are seeing these things, and of course, it's making them feel a certain way, and it's pressuring them, in certain ways.
Going back to your question, actually, with the whole, what was it like parents, how they dealt with us being in relationships with, that was obvious, that's a part of it as well. They were oblivious that we were actually seeing, because my parents are not the social media age, do you know what I mean? They're not the computer age.
My mom asked me one time, what do I know about sex? And I did that thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did
This
that
is the
thing.
jumper.
And I was just acting like I didn't know.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
a whole load.
and you,
I knew a whole load, bro.
That's a whole load.
but yeah, and we know a lot. So that's part of your question. That answers your question as well.
I don't know if my child had sex and she came to me. First of all,
You're
What'd you say?
adamant on this is your child being a she. What was it he?
your dad can do what you do. Because my brother, like, when I grew up, I didn't know what my brother was doing. Like, I actually did not know. Yeah, I didn't know. My brother was good. Like, boys are good. We're coming home being good boys and going out.
Oh yeah, bad.
I feel like we're a girl. I can tell. I look at you.
Oh,
you look
really?
Like
You
think so?
I can tell straight away.
It's
If you're a
so
boy,
crazy.
I can't tell if you're.
Yeah.
But
Because that's what I want to know. I want to be able to like talk to someone. Because I remember one time in open circle, some girl came to me and said, "Yo, I had sex. I lost my virginity," and I was just like,
Yeah, I've had that. I've had that as well.
you know what I mean?
People come to me and say,
Yeah, and just kind of like, like I'm not saying, oh great. I'm
Yeah.
saying, but it's not the end of the world. It's
you lost it.
it's, do you know what I mean? Like, and losing your virginity or being a virgin is not a criteria for you to get into heaven. Do you know what I mean? So,
that's
so
what we were taught, though.
you know them ones.
Yeah.
God only favors the virgins, the pure. You know what I mean? And I really no. Okay, I got to a point in my life. I'll be real with you. Being a virgin and stuff like that, I was thinking God was favoring me.
Me too.
Being the, more
yeah.
than someone who wasn't or who had been having sex. I was thinking God loves me more.
Yeah.
And that's almost a lie for the pit of hell, bro.
I
It's,
felt like that
it's a
too.
lie.
I was like, well, at least I'm a virgin. You know what I mean? Like that was kind of like the criteria sometimes where I'm like, I thought that I genuinely, because like, oh, I'm a virgin, this, I'm going to heaven. Like, do you know what I mean? I felt like there's so many other things in this life that God is going to be judging you on, and that is just only a part of it. That's only a piece of it.
And do you know what? I'm actually saying, if you're a virgin, keep it. It's good. Do you know what I mean? Keep it. But you see, when you're saying it's an element you can't take back, and it's very true. You know what I mean? No, you can't undo what has already been done. The truth of the matter is as well is that some people hold virginity to the highest. Do you get what I'm saying? And there's no problem. But the problem is sometimes when you feel like you've lost your worth because
As a
you've lost your
woman.
virginity.
Yeah.
God still sees you the same way. Do you get what I'm saying? As for you, you've lost physically, you've lost your virginity.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But God still sees you as His daughter, as His son. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it shouldn't affect your worth. Although I do agree, keep your virginity
Keep
at a
it.
high standard.
Keep it,
you know?
hold it. If you have it, it's like, just be mindful. I'm speaking to whoever is listening to this or whatever. Just be mindful of who you are going to give it to. Who's gonna
Give it.
who you're gonna
Wait,
who's
can you
gonna
real
taste
quick?
it?
Be your husband, though.
Yeah, it should be. Wait, real quick. How like so you gave a perfect analogy, right? Like a guy taking a flower. What about guys if they lose their virginity? What like who took our? What did they take from us?
Apple now. Adam's apple.
Shoot.
But yeah, no, it's important. But like even going back to relationships, yeah.
Actually, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So while I'm working, I always get this question asked me, and I never know what to say. So like a girl, I say maybe like 5 girls have said it to me. It's like, okay, like I know you're in a relationship, I know you're Christian, and like I know your partner is Christian. I'm like, yeah. They're like, so what's the limit? What you mean by what's the limit? Like they're like, oh, do you guys kiss? Do you guys like do this and do this? I'm just like, yeah, I kiss. But then some people are like, oh, but that's too far. Like I know a church that they don't believe in even hugging. So girls always ask me, like, oh, as a Christian. People always ask me as a Christian, like, what's the limit? And I just, obviously I know there's oral sex, you shouldn't do that. But then some people believe that there's kissing and you shouldn't do that. So I always say to the girls, I'm just like,
Yeah, I've sinned.
I always say to the girls, like, I don't know, if you've been convicted of it, then don't. But
Is there like a universal
That's what I'm trying to say.
limit?
No.
Or is
I
it
don't know.
dependent on yourself? Oh,
sex is definitely a limit though, right?
yeah.
Definitely.
Anything. I think anything past kissing is just sexual immorality.
But some people
But
kissing
some
can
people
make them
see
extremely
kissing as
horny.
immorality. You see, you have to be. One thing I think when these things happen, we need to be consistent. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if
Whereas in like kiss.
Hold on.
no,
a second.
I'm saying consistent in terms of. I say be consistent in the terms of what we classify as sexual immorality. So
You think lip to lip kissing sexual immorality?
all right. So
Not to
right,
me.
not to me, right?
But to someone else.
To an extent, it can be if you're both naked.
Exactly.
If you're-
No, no.
If you're both naked and you're
Yeah.
kissing like
Oh,
that,
that's true.
it could. That is.
Think about the way we kiss as well. Sometimes, you know what I mean. You know, sometimes it's just a "Mwah, good day," and you know sometimes it's
Well, that's not the
"How
kiss
are you?"
That's not the kiss I'm talking about. I'm talking about a kiss like
Lips in session.
no,
Yeah.
anything past like mwah is sexual immorality because
Right.
no, no, listen, in the
No
Bible,
way.
in the Bible, what's your man's name? Judas kissed Jesus.
Yeah, but it had
Oh,
your
go away.
lips like.
Go away. You didn't
they
really
kissed
make
on-
that point, did you?
That's what I mean by kiss it like a mwah.
No,
That's
but
fine.
Anything, you think that's fair?
that's what I'm saying.
No, fine,
That's what I'm saying.
fine.
It's
Yeah, but anything that's what I'm saying. Anything like a lips session, sexual. But then it's very.
Reckon?
It's,
I don't think so, bro.
Maybe.
that's what you just said.
Maybe.
No. I said if they're naked.
Yeah,
In the
exactly.
context, I mean,
What's naked?
That's what. No, what
Define naked.
what I would say is you need to be consistent with what. Okay, you need to be. You see, with sexual immorality, yeah. Listen to me, yo. Don't shoot me down. For some now, there's okay. When we talk about kissing, there is it's subjective,
Yeah.
right? Because listen, someone, if say a guy's just touching a girl's bum and squeezing her breast, right? That they could consider that as, oh geez, I feel like we were just sexually immoral there. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So there's kissing. There's someone who's just touching each other. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's so many different avenues. So it's like when you
Subjective.
it's subjective. When you say when I say subjective, I'm not saying if I don't feel guilty for having sex, then I don't
that's
feel.
another
Do you know what I mean?
issue. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You got to be consistent though. Do you know what I mean? Because I know many couples who kiss. I was in, especially I attended once in a while a white church.
chopper.
Yeah, them lot. Oh, they hold hands and giving each other a kiss. Normal stuff. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know what they was doing in the private time, but them things were there. But you couldn't dare come into your church with your girlfriend, hold her hand, and after church just give her a little. They had sex. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
That's
And
basically what
that's what I'm
they're
trying to say. Like, so
Yeah.
you have to know with yourself, like, what is
That's what I mean
your
by
limit
subjective.
and what's making you lost in your mind. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Then some people they could do oral sex and not feel guilty, not feel like they don't feel anything. So then, if you're using that example as to you, like, what makes you? Did you say lost?
I said I was talking about kissing, right? So I was saying
Just kissing.
I was
Oh,
saying I was saying everything past that we know. But let's not
No,
be
yeah.
foolish about it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Kissing is. I kiss.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Use them lips.
Curious.
Don't say that on the phone. Use them lips.
Use them lips.
Like, and like you said, anything past kissing, we know. We
all
know,
know
we know
what's-
what it is.
we know
Let's
what
not
one.
fool ourselves.
Yeah.
We know what. But even when some people say kissing is sexual immorality as well. Is that what you said?
Go away off that.
That is.
Grabbing
You
some-
can't speak for them though. Maybe they're convicted.
That's what I'm trying to
Maybe
say.
they're
Okay, hold
convicted.
on.
Holding hands could be sexual immorality for somebody because
Nah, that's too far.
No,
That's
wait.
No, that's too far.
When people held hands and prayed in the Bible.
Yeah, no.
It's not like you're kissing and praying
Hear
and
what
blah,
I'm
blah,
trying to say. Hear what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm trying to say I'm someone who was my battle in life is lost. Say my battle is lost.
Okay, maybe.
Babe, a girl could touch your leg, bro.
And
I
then
need deliverance then.
No,
If
no,
a girl's
but-
touching your leg, I'm doing this.
No,
Deliverance.
no. Well, what I'm trying to say is that for someone, there's a podcast I was listening to. He said to his wife when they were dating, he said she would touch him. She was very, like Cynthia. I said,
yeah.
yeah, she's very innocent, very
Yeah.
no, but yeah. So she would no. She would like touch his leg.
Yeah.
And for him, he had sex before and all that type of thing. So,
Yeah.
so for him, he was saying, "Yo, I'm so sorry. Don't touch me."
This is how.
Oh, was it like wait? Was it wait for marriage?
Yeah. He was saying, "Don't touch me,"
That
because
was on How Married Are You.
yeah, because he was saying these things for guys.
For him. it
Oh
was-
yeah, for him, it would make him. It would turn him on. So
Yeah.
you had to know what turns you on.
Can't be with something like that.
your love language is affection, isn't it?
No, not even like I can't. Why is it that if I just touch you, you're horny? Like, calm down. Like I get. No, don't get me wrong. I know some people struggle. I can't because if
Firstly,
I
I
touch
know.
your shoulder, then why?
I know that I'm
No.
I don't
fit
know.
enough to breathe next to.
Maybe we had to go to cut that out.
Like, why?
It's not where's your head out, fam.
I'm going to breathe.
No.
I just can't. I think
I
it's.
hear you.
Like, imagine, okay, let's flip it around. Yeah. You're with a girl, and if you even just touch her leg, she's like, don't do it, please, please, please. Would you not be like...
That's her.
I hear it, but if you have to respect it as well.
That's her limit.
It comes with a package.
Yeah, that's
Compromise.
my package, not my package.
Not your
because no, realistically, no. The truth is, even myself, like, see, touch me on the shoulder, I'm cool. Do you know what I mean? Touch me on the head, touch me on the chest, on my arm, it's cool. But there's certain areas, if you touch, of course I'm going to be aroused.
Yeah,
Nah.
pressure points, guys.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Time.
In that time, you know, all these things are like, let's not be foolish about it. But anyway, so yeah, the girl's limit, I think.
So what advice, if a girl came to you, so let's say next time the girl comes to me and they're like, Aurelia, I know you're da 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 da. Like, what's the limit? Do I just say, like, if you're convicted?
No,
No, I think you just it was like, what point? Just
that person is clearly. Okay, listen, be real, yeah.
I think everyone knows the
No.
limit.
isn't it?
Everyone knows.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows the
Trying
limit.
to test the waters.
yeah.
See how much
Everyone,
work can allow.
everyone, like, especially with our age, a lot of us, like a lot of young people, are struggling with lust. You know what I mean? Let's call it spade a spade. A lot of people are struggling with lust, and the truth is, you know, we all know what gets us there. So that's your limit. You know what I mean?
What if your limit is deep?
We're always gonna pigeonhole these things.
That's what I said, Dave. Yeah, I was like, because some people, like, oral sex or even sex is not deep. Like,
No,
it's-
what I meant by that is you don't just see each other and then take off your clothes.
Yeah.
Right?
the stages to
There's
it.
There are stages to it, and so you know that
Steps.
stage that's started you there. So you need to start putting boundaries in place for that stage. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But because I think people are just like to be, you know, we all try to find loopholes.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm
To
trying to
do
say?
what we wanna
do.
To do what we want to do, and it's wrong, and we all know. But what's up?
Just the last bit of this question.
Yeah, go.
I've gotten asked, like, so let's say sometimes the boyfriend and the girlfriend, they indulge in sexual activity. She's like, should I break up with him?
Should she break up with him?
How it
Does
depends
he
on-
want-
is he feeling that?
I
Like, they
can,
both know that they're doing the wrong
I
thing.
can imagine an African parent watching this saying, "Yes,
What's wrong?
break up."
If they want to like stop together, I don't see a reason to break up. But if one party,
I think that if they can't, I
Don't
think
they
they
go-
need space. I think they need space. They
They
need
come
to,
back extra horny and do it again.
yeah, no, because if one party doesn't want to stop and the other wants to stop, there's always going to be a clash there.
Sometimes two people can want to stop and still do it.
Oh, sorry.
Sometimes two people can
Then they can meet.
know it's wrong and still do it.
Don't meet in private places. Go to, if you know they in your head. If you're in a relationship, you know, kind of like they would probably know that, like, okay, something's about to go down. Do you know what I mean? At that point, don't even get to that point. If you know you're going to be going out to the cinema, maybe like
Back
sit
in
at the
cinema.
front. Sit at the front.
You know, Mary, you know,
Shock you the front.
front. Well, I was in. Okay. No, not me. Not me. I was shocked because my day it was the back in it. I was in the front. I was
Every
view,
rule now.
No.
Liffey Valley. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much. Anyways,
Man,
No.
getting brave still.
should I say what was your thing?
When should they break up?
The breakup thing, right? I always say there's someone who called me maybe a month ago, said, "Bro, every time I link up with my girl, just have sex." Like it's like almost. He said, if you count every time that we've linked up, 9 out of 10 times it was sex.
I think that's a bit.
So should they break up?
Christian guy, Christian girl.
Yeah.
In fact, she loves God,
Yeah.
I think so.
right? But listen, he hit me up and he was like, bro, this is a struggle, right? He loves her, but this is a struggle, and I'm telling you, real talk, yeah. If you asked me this 4 years ago, I'll tell you, break up. He's the devil or she's the devil. They want to bring you to hell. 4 years ago, I said that. Right now, it wasn't about. It's not necessarily about your relationship. It's about you as individuals. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because sometimes we try to fix what we see, but we're
Surface
missing
level,
the roots.
root, yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I'm saying, bro, you have some lust that you got to deal with.
And
She's got some lust that she's got to deal with. And being together and seeing each other is the result of what you're struggling with individually. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I was telling him there's so many layers to it. I was on the phone for like an hour and a half. I said, bro, there's patterns of thought. There's just,
Yeah,
when you get to the room with her, or when you get alone with her, you're both only thinking about one thing because you're alone. Do you get, this is a pattern now. Do you get what I'm saying? Every time you're together, you're thinking this way. As I say, bro, there's so much. It's so much. I don't want to preach here, but there's so much you have to unpack when renewing your mind.
I also think there's an importance in singleness. Two incomplete people will make an incomplete thing. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I think in your moment of singleness, that's when you master
The
lust. Like you, like when you're single, you know how to handle yourself now. It's just you and God. That's it.
Yeah,
So I
but
think you shouldn't shun upon it.
I hear that and I agree because I think singleness is important. I think what was Mike Todd was even saying that you're single to married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same
they're in
time,
that situation already still.
yeah. And sometimes it's you're in that situation already, or you get into a relationship before you get married, right? I suppose that's the way.
Yeah.
And in that relationship, it's so I know how to be I know how to control lust by myself.
Yeah,
I may not know how to control lust with a
exactly.
partner. Do
What
you
if
get what I'm
you're
saying?
single, you know how to handle it, but then someone else comes along.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you get in a relationship with someone, you're attracted to them. You want to be with them. Obviously, you get so it can be.
It goes to that
gets
whole thing
techie.
of it gets techie.
It gets techie.
Yeah, it goes to that whole thing of courting.
I was just gonna ask that.
Christians,
Definitely different.
young Christians listening to us or watching us right now.
If
What
you
do you
don't
think
know-
about courting? Comment.
They probably
below.
don't know Korean. They probably don't know what it
Another
is.
person
Know what,
present,
like,
isn't
really
it?
is.
It's like being accountable to a third person.
Yeah.
So you're going on a date with your girlfriend?
There's a third person.
Bishop.
They might not be.
2 days with you.
They might not be there like watching you, but when you go back home, you give account. And listen, it's
Kinda
flawed
like
because you can
end
lie.
up lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you end up lying? What can you?
You can lie.
Be up
I
with
think
friends.
you need to, if you want to be doing calling, you need to be serious with it as well. It's not something that you're forced into doing.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, you have to be serious
The
into
church
it.
does advise it, and you know I'm not against the church's advice. For 40-year-olds,
It's not realistic
but
at this point in time.
you're talking to us right now. Who I'm sure no one who's going to get married in the next 10 years would have courted.
I would. Well, do you know what the thing is? If I was in an environment where there were 28-year-olds who are married, or even 30-year-olds, and they're cool, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
They would
Yeah.
speak to me like
Yeah.
I'm not too, and say don't have sex. Blah, blah, blah. They'd be
Yeah.
like, I know it's hard. I would. Why not?
Do you know what
I
I think?
feel like we don't have that.
You
here.
would what?
Like I would maybe not necessarily like
Not
court, but I
court,
would
but
definitely
you'd-
have them there.
Just gonna tell you what I agree with you. I think it's what I call it is mentors.
Mentors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationship mentors, someone you could hit up like, yo, boss man, I'm struggling with lust of my girl, or boss man, we're fighting a lot. Or,
Funny enough, yeah, I have my. Okay.
how do I say it?
How do I put it? My. I have someone who is like, I have someone who's like that, but the person she's married to, I don't agree. I'm not.
You're not really feeling
I'm
it.
not feeling the vibe. You understand? But she's cool. Yeah, she's calm, whatever.
So,
But the person
so
she's married
if she gives you, sorry, bro, if she gives you some relationship advice, do you take it?
I would take pieces of it that I think are valuable and that apply to my situation, but I will leave whatever else, the leftovers.
Do you need the man and the woman?
I think it's important to have the man and the woman.
just-
Especially,
yeah.
it's important, yeah. I don't rate that.
Like right now, I'm building some relationships with some older people who I kind of respect, but it's also at the same time, do you know what I mean? You have to get to that place of transparency with them.
Trust
and say,
as well.
Trust, you know what I mean? Say like, listen,
Don't be
boss.
talking about you.
I don't trust
Yeah.
anybody here.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and that's what I'm trying to say. That's why a lot of young people in relationships just
struggling.
go off and do their own thing and try and figure out everything by themselves. And so, in that, there is some detrimental things, and in that, there's actually some jewels. You know, we learned this by ourselves, you know. But at the end of the day, man, I feel like if you know somebody who is married and is older, and you feel like you could trust them and you could vibe with them,
Yeah.
definitely that's an option that you should definitely use, you know, because I think it's helpful. I would love a
I would love
mentor.
it. We don't have it. This country is this country is a little bit like
We're the first generation of black people.
yeah. I think the
will
younger
be
generations
done.
coming up are actually gonna have a bit more.
Even the ones that are married now, they're neeks, man. No, they are, man. They are, man.
As in like
Every married
Yeah,
person is league.
No,
No,
like
no,
no,
I
like
agree with
the like
you.
the older,
The
like
oldest.
older
They're like-
lot that are still young.
Yeah.
They're neeks, man.
Like all they
They're
know is
neeks.
missionary. Like that.
Whoa! I didn't
Sorry.
mean that. Yeah, I had to cut that out.
I didn't mean that.
No, like they're just I know what you mean. Like they're either like them proper Christians and like
Yeah,
I get what you
like
mean.
the
and they're not
stiff.
transparent, and
I
they
get
think
what
that
you mean.
they basically give you the image of we were perfect before we got married, and then
They
now
weren't.
it's perfect and everything is
weren't.
we didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. That's their
My dad,
basically.
do you know my dad said so stupidly? He goes, you people that have days that you have a relationship. When I was dating your mom, she sat there, I sat here. When she said hi, she was there. I was there. And my mom goes, like sometimes you know they lie.
Yeah.
Proper lie.
No, it's true. Cause and when you say, when parents say, I was once your age, then you should know
No.
exactly what we're going through. You know what I mean? And the way, cause I feel like they had a lot of stuff. That's a whole nother topic about kind of our parents. I think you already spoken about it.
Yeah.
Like how they may have suppressed a lot of things,
Yeah.
and the way they are giving it to us is very it's so flawed because of. Okay, God is here.
Amen.
Man,
It's so flawed. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
feel like that's a whole. When you
sometimes
said earlier relational, they need to be more.
they don't even
relational.
know how to say it sometimes.
They don't.
They don't know how to
They
say
don't know
it.
how to communicate. Like there's such a vast space between us because they came up in a completely different environment, different country, different rules, different everything. Bringing us to this country here where kind of anything goes. People are bringing their boyfriend home and they say, "Hi, mom. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
going
we're
upstairs."
going
All you hear is,
Bro, Mary, no, let me tell you, real talk. When I hear my friends were bringing their girlfriends home, like, oh yeah, just going home.
I used to be like,
I was like, what? Home?
I used to sneak big break because my school was close to the house. So big break because my mom would work.
Yeah.
In
Bro,
court.
no, it's mad, like, you know what I mean? Like,
now I can bring him home.
no,
kinda
I
get
can.
it,
I can bring my girls home.
"Yeah,
but
I've
but
introduced
my
man
mom understands.
Yeah.
You're 24, bro.
Yeah, you're a big man.
You're a big man. You know what I mean? You're mature. And I'm not saying age determines maturity. I'm saying, but your parents will know that you're mature enough
Even
to
the
bring
way you
home.
move, you
Yeah.
see
There's
the way
an
you move.
element
You're
of
responsible.
Yeah,
You know
there's
what
an
I mean?
element of like true in the way that they kind of was like, kind of at a point at a certain age that we have gotten to now, and a certain level of maturity that we have gotten to now, that our parents started offering us that respect that we thought we deserved when we were like 14, 15,
yeah.
16.
You didn't deserve it
And
then.
our parents were looking at us like, you're stupid. And then in our heads, we're like, oh no, we're mature. Da, 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 da. But I get it.
Do you
get it.
think, like you said, do you think if they see, like you say, age is just a number, but if they see the way you move,
Yeah.
the way you are, they'll lay off a bit.
They're your parents. They
They'll
know
lay
you
off a
the
bit.
most. I think they know you the most.
They're watching you. Do you know what I mean? So your mom knew that at the age you started to drive. She said, "Yeah, Mary, you're able to handle that." Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's like they know what you're able to handle at certain ages. You know what I mean? And yes, they were correct when they were saying, "Don't." As you were saying, you're going to tell your daughter when she's 14, don't have a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Because they know that you're not able to handle that, and there's a lot that
The
comes
emotional
with it.
responsibility
Do
that
you
it
get what I'm
takes
trying to
is
say?
mad.
But when you get to an age where you say, guys, that's a whole different conversation. Dating to marry. All right. Okay, we've done an hour and 11 minutes.
Over time.
Yes, sir. Anyway, thank you so much for watching
Thank
the
you,
Open
guys.
Circle podcast. Don't
Happy
forget to
Valentine's Day and that.
Sure.
My dad can't watch this podcast.
Yeah,
Make sure you
yeah.
guys are
Happy
safe.
Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Happy Valentine's.
Be safe during this Valentine's Day.
But don't be safe.
Don't do anything.
Don't do.
Be saving.
Buy her a flower and call it.
Pray. Pray to
Alright,
get out.
thanks.
Pray.